I want to give a shout out to my brothers. You guys are so amazing. And to think um, that part of me is connected to him is something that is absolutely divine. And for you women who don't believe that the good men are out there or the good black men are out there, honey, let me tell you something. Pull yourself all the way together and he will arrive. When I just think about the journey that I've had to take in order to love my brothers and to love my sisters. And so now I'm in a place, which is a beautiful thing, that I am now taking a step forward to learn and know my sisters. And there's been a few moments lately that have really pulled me into a glory with them that is really that cannot be matched. And when you pray and you ask the Lord to give you something that you feel is sustainable for you, that you feel will make you sustainable, that you have to really just ask. And I went on a quest to understand my black man outside of the sexual side, because as a black woman, you know, in general, women have to be very careful about what they do, because they will be labeled. And at the end of the day, one of the things that I enjoy most is the fact that despite what I knew I would get, or the assumptions and things, that I've learned that because I didn't listen, and I didn't listen to all of the things that would allow me to pull away and understand that no matter what a male was thinking, that as a black woman, I was just simply trying to know my brother. And that, you know, that we are not good as a race when you see a black woman who is embracing. And, you know, if you go to an establishment, a woman who knows everyone, they say, well, she's too friendly. And what's fascinating to me is how that comment has limited them in themselves, and that this really isn't about her. It's about that you see that the men are trying to get a spot. And so if they're coming up to her, it is because they're trying to possibly, they're trying to get at her. The idea, in my opinion, it's like it really has nothing to do with her, because she could be the kind of woman that simply is gracious and kind, and she sees people as people and brothers as people, and not, I can't show love to these gentlemen because they're going to think I'm being a whore of some sort, or she's too friendly. And when we look at the state of our race, please understand, just this is from my perspective. Nobody has to co-sign. I mean, baby, this is what's in my brain, and I ask no one to mimic and or copy. But for me, I wanted to know them. I wanted to know my black man as a whole, all of them, not just one, but all of them, because the only way that I felt like I could truly serve him is if I was able to understand that I was created from him. And so I knew what I would get, but I also understood that I was coming from a place that was genuine. I was coming from a place that I wanted to, when something happened to him in the media, that I could truly feel something, because I wanted to know that my brother saw me as someone that was not just an instigating in the bed, but as a person, as his sister, as his mother, and that we see each other as people and human beings first. And for me, I had to learn to understand that maybe we're not used to people showing love unless there's some sort of motive. And I just feel like I never, and when I
in
was
a half of a mile, turn left onto Cherry Lane.
When I was trying to understand, you know, black men and things that they were going through, I just simply wanted to be able to really understand them as a whole, and to really understand, for me, that I'd like to think as black men also as ones that will just speak and be kind to his sister outside of sex, outside of there being a motive.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Cherry Lane.
I'm just at this place in my life where it was important for me to really understand that, and to understand just simply who they were. Now, at the end of the day, I will say that I am hoping that now that I'm able to be introduced to my sisters, that was a thing that I wanted, that I could do it in a way that I wanted to feel that power. And it feels really, really good. And to know ultimately that who I am and how much I love myself is better than anything, because in a way it feels like I have a superpower. It's that no one can really hurt me because no one can show me a better time than I can show myself, in a way. Meaning the joy that I've had to work very hard to get wasn't easy. It was really hard. And part of that was letting the voices go in my head, all of the opinions individually of what a woman is, what she should be. I had to let that go and just find out who I was and be okay with it. And that there was someone who was going to love me because who was going to love me because I love myself, and to really give me an opportunity to understand that whatever questions you may have about my behavior, that you can just simply ask me, so that you can gain an understanding of who I am and why I operate and move the way that I do. But I still wanted to give a shout out to all of the Black men who are really upstanding and amazing, that will hold their Black sisters in unity and encourage them, and not look at them as just a means to an end, but a means to a beginning, a process, and an ending. So again, shout out for all you Black men that truly understand what it means to love a Black woman as a sister first.